Randy Rude Boy Brown, we are a couple of weeks out from your next UFC fight. How is prep and camp going?
Camp is phenomenal, man. Camp's been good. One of the better camps since COVID.
Yeah.
So I feel great, man. I feel good. Things are feeling like it's back to normal now, and I love it. I can't wait to get out there. Feeling really good.
I presume there is not as many restrictions in terms of gyms and training partners at the moment.
No, not anymore.
Yeah.
Not
So
anymore. So
is the gym just back to normal?
yeah, pretty much. We're up and running. Everyone's back. Uh, yeah. So we're training 3 times, 2 to 3 times a day. Out and about, like like it's nothing. So
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Let's get straight into the matchup. So UFC 261, the 24th of this month, you will face Alex Cowboy Oliveira.
Mhm.
First and foremost, how do you view Oliveira as an upcoming style matchup?
Um, I view him as a very, tough veteran, someone who's been around the block. Someone I have a lot of respect for.
Yeah.
Um, I think he's very dangerous. I think he's wiry and wild, unpredictable, and I think he's tough. I think he's tough. That being said, I feel that I do have several advantages on the feet and on the ground, but he's still a cowboy, so I
Yeah.
gotta watch out for those little wiry tricks he got.
I know you won't want to go into specifics, obviously, and by some stretch of the imagination, Cowboy heard this, but what are them advantages that you think that you possess over him?
One of the advantages, well, just on the stand up, I think I'm a lot more cleaner.
Yeah.
He's pretty wild, still very dangerous. Wild and doesn't really have much technique on the feet, which doesn't matter because it's 4 ounce gloves. But
Yeah.
I think that I have an advantage on the feet regardless.
Yeah. Yeah. And Cowboy is one of them guys who's been around for such a long time, but he has lost 4 of his last 6 fights.
Mhm.
With that being said, how do you view this version of Cowboy Oliveira?
I think this is the most dangerous because I feel like he's at this moment he may be pushed, with his back against the wall, or he may feel like he's at the edge about to fall off. You know, so going up against somebody like me, I think he's probably going to see this as a big opportunity to be able to bounce back and be back into the run-ins. Just kind of save his job in a sense. So and those are the most dangerous fighters. A
Yes.
guy who has nothing to lose and a guy who's at the point where he feels he needs this.
Yeah.
So
This will be your third Brazilian opponent in a row. Do you actually think you've got something against Brazil?
hey, I've thought the same thing. I got nothing against him, man. I got nothing against him, but I've thought the same thing. And I don't know. Maybe what I do notice is that the Brazilian fans they rock with me, man. The Brazilian fans they rock with me a lot. So um, I guess maybe it's just appealing to that side of the audience. I guess because I fought in Brazil and I had great success there,
Mm.
and Brazilians like me. I train with a lot of Brazilians, so maybe that's what it is.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but which of your fights was the one in Brazil? Was that Wally Alves?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was Worley Alpha.
yeah. Would Cowboy Oliveira be the biggest win of your career?
Name wise, yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Difficulty wise, no, necessarily.
Um, I can't say. I can't say
Yeah.
looking at his skill set is one thing, while looking at someone's skill set from the outside. But when I get in there and we start mixing it up, I'll know after. I'll come back and tell you after the fight.
Okay, okay, fair enough. And this matchup was originally booked for February the 27th, and it obviously
Mhm.
got cancelled. Is
Yeah.
it a difficulty fighting someone, being prepared to fight someone, and then the fight being extended by 2 months?
No, not at all. If anything, that's in my favor because it gives me more time to prepare,
Is
more
it?
time to sharpen my tools, more time to game plan and put everything together, and just to get in overall shape, better shape. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's the main thing. As long as I show up in shape and uncompromised, there's no one in that octagon that could be.
Has there been a risk of burnout at all, as I say, with these couple of extra months added on?
What was that?
Has there been any risk of, say, burnout in your training at all with these extra months added on?
Risk of ban.
Of burnout, so overtraining for a specific opponent.
Over no, not at all, not at all. You got to know when to pull back, and and when to push on the pedal and all that. And uh, I was just very diligent and very mindful of not going too crazy and overtraining. So those are
Yeah.
things that I think about. So nah, man, my body's. And honestly, I've been overtraining for a long time in my in my career. Most of my career, I've overtrained and not knowing and not doing it the right way. And now that I have the understanding and the knowledge with the strength coach that I'm with, um, I've actually jumped up tenfolds in my progression. But my body is just adapted so well to being overtrained so all these years. So it's kind of, if I'm gonna overtrain, it's gonna be really hard to it's gonna be really hard to overtrain at this point.
Yeah.
My
Overtraining,
and my body's
overtraining.
still, it'll just operate how it needs to operate regardless.
Yeah. And this fight is obviously on UFC 261, which is the big return of fans. You are a
Sir.
fan favorite fighter. I think that's fair to say. Are you looking forward to performing in front of a crowd?
Oh, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. It's something about fighting with the audience, man. Fighting with the audience is like, it's that roar is nothing like it. It's just the energy that you guys bring to the table, and that you guys add to the climate is nothing like it. It's nothing like it. And it makes, for some reason, I feel it makes me fight better.
Did you struggle in your last fight against Vicente Luque without a crowd? Was that a strange experience for you?
It was strange. I wouldn't put any merit to it, to the outcome of the fight. No, not
Yeah.
at all. But it was strange. It was unique. It was something different for sure. And it was cool. It felt like, hey, I've been in that environment before in gyms. So it
Yeah.
felt like I was in a gym. It felt like, your team over here, another team over there, you show up to another gym and y'all are just doing it. Your team is yelling stuff, their team is yelling stuff. And it just felt like a little more gritty, a little more raw, and I'd love to actually do that again one day. That was cool as hell. Um, well, obviously with a better result, But no, it was strange. It was strange, but I don't think it was. I love the fight with the audience better, but it was definitely cool.
I've asked some fighters that question, and they've said the fight didn't feel as important without a crowd. It didn't feel like it mattered as much. Did you feel like that in any way?
No, because
No.
when you start, like I said, I've been in that environment. I'm from
Yeah.
a boxing background,
Yeah.
and in boxing gym, sometimes you go to another gym and you're sparring a dude. You got people hanging over the ropes, people yelling this and yelling that, and it's like his team yelling, telling him what to do, and then it's just it's very intimate and it's heated. It gets heated real, and it's intense. Um, I've been in that. I've been in that a lot of times. You know what I mean? So, uh, my fight still felt important to me because at the end of the day, when you touch gloves, it's a fight. No matter
Yeah.
where it is, it's a fight, and you're fighting for your life. And the adrenaline kicks in, and then you're just doing it.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it kind of feels like sparring, but once you throw that first exchange, all that shit is out the window, and y'all just doing it, bro.
Yeah. Of course. Especially with how I imagine how hard you and Vicente Luque hit each other in that
Yeah,
fight.
for sure.
And this card, UFC 261, is also the biggest card of the year so far. It's
Mhm.
got three title fights, a lot of big fights, including yours.
Yes, sir.
Do you like fighting on a big pay-per-view card?
Um, Absolutely. I love it. I love the exposure. I used to think I liked fighting on the smaller cards better because I could it's easier to stand out and get a bonus. But I feel like that mindset wasn't doing me any favors. So, I kind of just changed my mind in a way where it's like, you know what? It made me progress better when I said, hey, told myself, hey, you know what? I want to be on these bigger cards. This is a bigger opportunity. If I can stand out on a big card with a lot of killers and I can stand out, you know, even more so than all of the killers on that card, that'll put me in a good spot. So it's kind of like a healthy competition in a way. You know what I mean? So when when I go out there now on this bigger card, I'm looking to stand out. I'm looking to go out there and put on a show and put somebody away,
Mm,
spectacularly.
yeah. I like asking people that question because you would be surprised how different the responses can be. Some people will say that they like going on smaller cards. Some people will say they like being on the big card, and some people will say, I don't really care.
Mm.
Mm,
Yeah, in the past, I used to like the small card because it's easier to get the bonus.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know what? Now it doesn't matter. I realize that it doesn't matter. And if I do get something just get it done spectacularly on a bigger card, that just means I'm doing it even that much more grand,
Yeah.
So
I have to ask because the main event is in your division. Who have you got the main event Usman versus Masvidal?
um it's a hard one. It's a hard one. I'm thinking I'd like to see George Masvidal with a full camp and see how he can do with a full camp, just based off of how well he did, without a full camp. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's not going to be the same fight as it was last time. I think that Masvidal actually has a chance this time. But I think Usman may just try to wrestle him and grind him out. But on the feet, I don't think it's even close.
Yeah, yeah. It's not in totality, but it is a little bit of a striker versus grappler fight, isn't it? Where
For sure, for sure.
yeah, wherever that fight takes place, you feel like you will know the winner.
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. And if we turn the conversation back to you, obviously the priority is the win on the 24th.
Yes.
But what other goals do you have in mind for the rest of 2021? Is there anything else you want to accomplish?
Absolutely. My last fight, I had opportunity to break into the rankings. It didn't go my way. I fought a very tough veteran, and it didn't go my way. But you know what? I want to break back into top 15. I want another crack at it this year, and hopefully next year we'll be doing some big things.
Yeah. Is there obviously the priority is Cowboy Oliveira, but is there an opponent in mind in the top 15 you would perhaps like next?
Any one of them.
Yeah.
Any one of them, man. Honestly, it doesn't matter to me right now. My priority is this guy. I can't look past Alex
Yes.
Oliveira. The guy he's legit, man. He's
Yeah.
legit. He's solid. He's very dangerous. Um, but I'm down to fight anyone after him.
Yeah, of course. Well, let's finish the conversation by talking about the fight. Give
Mhm.
me a prediction for the 24th of April. What happens when you're locked in there with Cowboy Oliveira?
I get it done anywhere. It's gonna be a high paced fight. We're both fast starters. We're gonna come out and throw down. That's fact. We're gonna
Yeah.
come out and just throw down. As soon as the fight starts, there's no feeling out. Um, but I do think that I'm a lot more poised on the feet, and he's gonna throw big shots one at a time. And if he doesn't land, I'm gonna make him pay every time he misses. And I'm gonna be eating him up with combos and that kind of shit. He'll try to push me against the cage. I know he likes to grapple. He does well in the clinch. I do well in the clinch as well. I think that we'll mix it up everywhere and it's gonna be high pace. But ultimately I think I get to finish.
There is a lot of fantastic fights on this card, but this fight to me has a very good chance of being fight of the night. Do you feel like that's a possibility?
For sure. For sure. Anything's possible, man.
Yeah.
Anything's possible in there, in those 15 minutes. But the work that I've put in, the level that I'm at right now, I think that I'm a higher level fighter than he is. Um, but he's super tough, super durable. He's been around the block. He's seen it all, and I expect him to come and fucking go, you know. But either way, I think I get it done.
Yeah, of course. Now I've got. I guess I know I said that was my final question, but I've got one more just off the cuff. That's
Mhm.
okay. We've just had a fantastic chat. Absolutely great to talk to you today, Randy. But you do not live up to your nickname of Rude Boy because you are not rude in any way. Where did you get that nickname from?
Oh man, everybody asks me that. Everyone's asking me that. Hey, so a lot of people don't know, right? Because you hear me speak like this, and I'm super cultured, man. I'm super cultured, and I grew up in Jamaica. I was raised in Jamaica, and rude boy is more like it's a term of endearment in a sense in Jamaica. You know what I mean? Uh, Originally, it was slang for back in the day, for kind of like bad boy or whatever, rude boy, right? But not really. More now it's more of just a term of endearment if you're talking to like a friend or somebody. So y'all don't really know that I'm Jamaican and I was raised in Jamaica,
Yeah.
but yeah. So whenever I mix it up, I'm gonna start talk to patois them where can't say, hey, rude boy, oh, go on, rude boy, where I deal with, like, hey, what's up, rude boy, that kind of stuff. So it's just a cultural thing, my guy. That's it.
Okay. I knew you were obviously born in Jamaica, but when did you make the move over to the States?
No, it's crazy. I was born in the US. I was born in the
Ah,
US and then I was sent to Jamaica when I was like 3. And I was raised in Jamaica all the way up until I was like 16.
and
And
then you
then
went back to New York.
and then once I was here at 16, I started going back and forth.
And was that a result of your MMA career taking off or your boxing career?
No, that was just my mom lived in Jamaica. Something personal happened in our life where my mom had to go back and my dad wasn't around. So I was forced to I was raised in Jamaica. I had to live there. So I lived with my grandma in Jamaica for a while. Then my mom came and I ended up living with my mom down there and most of my life in Jamaica.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. So, with the greatest of respect, we see a lot of people I think, in sports who will claim heritage to a country having never actually lived there or been there. But you
Yeah.
are Jamaican through and through, Randy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Making the Jamaicans proud as well as the New Yorkers.
Yes, sir. Grinding, trying my best.
Superb. Well, it's a fantastic fight. It really is. And I very much look forward to seeing you back in action.
Oh man, thank you very much, bro. I'm looking forward to being in there and putting on a show.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm looking forward to being the other side of the screen. Before we finish, Randy, how can people find you on social media?
um, my Instagram and my Twitter is touch and go, touch letter NGO underscore. Um, but mostly I'm on Twitch. If you're on Twitch, you can find me on Twitch. I do a pre-fight show and post-fight show leading to every event every Friday and Sunday, called The Pro and the Bro. So it's me and my brother-in-law just kicking the shit and talking to everybody in chat. So if you're on Twitch, jump on Twitch, come show us some love.
Superb. And before we finish, is there anything you would like to say or sign off with at all?
Nah, tune in. Tune in April 24th, and we're gonna give this boy hell.
Couldn't agree more. Well, it was great talking to you today, Randy, and have best of luck for the fight coming up.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man.